This is Infotainment. Ukamva sasi kulira choncho umaziwa kuti nkhani za msanguluso zabwera. Tikuuzeni kuti kunali chani nkhani za msanguluso komanso kukhalezo chani nkhani za msanguluso. The sound of the sansi, the slump piano tells it all that here we come with Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. And in this edition, we speak to Miss Culture Malawi, Memory Sanjira, who tells us her experience of her office, the Miss Culture Malawi office. She will be handing over the crown this year. So we speak to her. And again, we also talk about a premiere of a play titled Mwanayu and Wanu, which was written by Minister of Natural Resources and Climate Change. That's Michael Usi, popularly known as Manganya. We also look at the National Arts and Heritage Council taskforce committee that recently engaged the Ministry of Local Government and Unity, as well as Culture, and a committee, some committees basically at Parliament to discuss about the bill. Where are we at the moment? We have lots and lots of other artistic activities that took place in this edition of Infotainment. All you can do is stay right there as I bring you more about other artistic events. My name is Banda Jnr. Stay right there. We begin our program with news that last Monday, actually, we saw the premiere of a play titled Mwanayu and Wanu, which was written by Minister of Natural Resources and Climate Change. That's Michael Usi, popularly known as Manganya in the theatrical circles. And the play received an overwhelming response. A lot of people came and patronized the premiere of the production, which is aimed at raising funds to go towards supporting some of the survivors of Cyclone Fred, especially those who got their houses damaged. They'll be using the money to build houses for some of those survivors who had their houses damaged. Where there's Infotainment, we captured the premiere of the production and we spoke to some of the people who patronized the production, as well as Manganya himself. And our reporter Tawonga Sabola in Lilongo was there and captured the moments. Let's see what happened.
Habari because what happens in the villages and in our community, it sometimes some cases can come where they are not fully built.
The message is about the sanctity of a family. What we are communicating is that when two people have come together as a family, nobody from outside should attempt to destroy that family, whether they have children or no children, because culturally, I would say people would expect when people are married, they should have children, and if it's only one child, they start asking questions. What we are saying, no. Family is between a man and a woman, according to the Bible, according to the Quran, according to our culture. Man and woman, that is marriage, husband and wife.
Yeah, that was how it was. The premiere of a play titled Mwanayu and Wanu, written by Minister of Natural Resources and Climate Change. That's Michael Usi, popularly known as Manganya. And there was also a performance from Music Crossroads Malawi. So it was all perfect, taking place at Bingu International Convention Center in Lilongwe on Easter Monday. And now moving on to another item, just to remind you that the premiere raised 7 million, and the team is actually looking at holding more performances in other areas as well. So we'll be following up on that. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, the basket for arts and entertainment, and my name is Banda Jnr. Now moving on to another item, the National Arts and Heritage Council draft bill is yet to be enacted in Parliament, and a task force has been lobbying for the enactment of NAHEC, which will lead to the creation of NAHEC, and NAHEC will be there to spearhead the activities of the creative sector. But then the creatives have been lobbying for this for a long time, and after seeing that the draft bill is not yet being tackled, they decided to engage the Minister of Local Government, Unity and Culture, that's Richard Chimwendo Banda, as well as some of the parliamentary committees, just to find out where the draft bill is. We caught up with the chairperson of the NAHEC task force, that's Maxwell Chipinga, just to explain more on their encounter with the parliamentary committee as well as the minister on what happened. Let's hear from Maxwell Chipinga.
Kufunikira kwa ulendo umenewu unalionena kuti timafuna tiziwe chenicheni kuti pamene tili ndi pati, chifukwa chokuti mukukambirana kwathu komalizira kumene tinakhala nako so parliament komweko tinagwirizana ndi ministry yathu, line ministry yathu, nthawi imene tili under Ministry of Culture, anatipanga sure kunena kuti come this parliamentary sitting imene ili session panopoyi budget bill yathu izapita ku parliament. Komano titaona kuunguza ndi kupanga investigate, tinaona kuti bill yathu sili pa line ya government bills amene akupita ku parliament. So timafuna tipanga appreciate chifukwa chimene chapangisa kuti zimene zisatero, ndiye tinayesesa kwa peza minister amene anatipasa ndi audience, anatilola kuti tipite tikakumane nawo pamaso pa a chair a community and social welfare committee ya parliament ndi aligo, kuti tikamve tonse tili limodzi, chifukwa pazanaponso tinali limodzi, tikamve kuti chachitika njani. Ndiye titafika kumene kuja report imene talimva ndi labwino kwambiri. Ndipo ndipeni ngakuze sam chinthu chinamba kumenyeredwa kalekale ma 1960s mosemu pano tikufika pano ife magulu ambiri achina duchisiza chino anakankhapo za chinthu chimenechi, anapita anthu onse acha. ifeyo zikuoneka ngati gulu lathu ndi limene tikukamalizana nacho chinthuchi kunena kuti apapa chinthu chija titayankhula ndi anduna atipanga ashuwa kuti chinthu chija achisuntha pakanthawi kamene iwo apezeka muzi wangu sankhidwa kumene kunduna umeneko komano ifeyo we are impressed ndi zimene zachitika pakanthawi kamene kaka ifeyo kuti atiuza atipanga ashuwa kuti chinthu chija chapanga kale pass cabinet committee imene iyi ndi imene one of ma committee amene amakhala crucial kumbali ya ma bills. Cabinet committee kangochipanga pasi chinthu chimene chocho chimakhala chatani kuti chadusa. Of course apapa chikatero chimakhala kumanaso ndi full cabinet. Komano chachikulu nchoti iyi cabinet committee it comprised of 20 ministers. Now you can see kuti 20 ministers have given it a nod. Kusonyeza kuti kumene chikupitako chinthu chi sogolo lake ndi lowa. And this is the advantage yonera kuti achimwendowa ndi amene so ali leader of the house. Amene amayang'ana kwambiri za government business iso mnyumba mucha. So advantage imene tufuna tikuise ntchito pa nthawi imene iwo ali mu office. Ndipo anatiuza kuti ineyo mu office mutakhala mu 5 months ine ndionesesa kuti chinthu ichi pachitike zinthu zokuti chinthu mpaka na chikafika ku parliament. So the progress imene timayiyembekezera nthawi yonse tifana yambuyo chinthu chimangopeza kuti chili ku department chimangokabe ku department konko ndiye zimene zonse zimene zimapanga frustrate process yonse. Koma apapa kumene chafikako palibe angachimise chifukwa kuti protocol imene mapanga demand kuti zinthu chiyende bwanji chikachoka apa chimafika apa chimatenga nthawi yayitali bwanji zimakhala ndi ma timelines kumene zapitako so kuti palibe pamene chingakhaliridwe chikuyenera ndithu chikafike ku parliament. Malawi kwambiri nthawi zambiri timayembekeza kulandira tizilandira chakuti sitikunena kuti council ikabwera ku Malawi anthu azingopita makalandira ndalama kapena makalandira chani koma nkhani imene tikunena kuti ifeyo ngati anthu luso wathu sitikupindula nalo mmene tikanayenera kupindulira paka nakhala kuti pali council. Chifukwa chonena kuti council ndi imene imatipangira set ma policies ndi imene imatipangira set malamulo okuti kodi zinthu ziziyenda bwanji mati sambira kupangidwa exploit mati sambisa kupindula muluso lawo chifukwa chokuti palibe malamulo opanga protect owateteza kuti anthu aja luso lawo apindule nawo. So tikunena kuti amalawi amene ma creative artists anthu azaluso amene azakhalidwe tonse tizipindula kwambiri munjira zina zilizonse zimene tikuyenera kupindulira chifukwa chokuti boma likhala kuti lalowapo latipangira ground yokuti tizipanga zinthu zathu mwa fairness pachizungu kuti aliyense azipindula pasakhale wina otenga advantage anzake. Pamakhala music promoters amene amatenga advantage of musicians, pamakhala ma lawyers ena amene amatha kubwerapo kutenga advantage because akuziwa kuti palibe lamulo. Now in this case pakabwera lamulo bwinobwino ama artists apindula chifukwa chonena kuti china chilichonse chimene akupanga chizioneka kuti chikuyenda bwanji.
Yeah, that's Maxwell Chipinga there, the National Arts and Heritage Council Draft Bill Chairperson, speaking about their meeting with the Minister of Local Government Unity, as well as Culture, as well as some of the chairpersons of the parliamentary committees to look at the enactment of the NAHEC bill. And basically, it will help the creative sector in terms of getting some of the opportunities, the grants, and all other activities in terms of sanitization of the whole creative sector. Moving on, we go on to issues to do with beauty pageants, and this time around we want to talk to Miss Culture Malawi, Memory Sanjira. She got crowned last year and she's been in office for close to a year now, but now in August this year she'll be handing over the crown because the Miss Culture 2023 is up. So we caught up with her just to share more details about her experience in the office of the Miss Culture Malawi, and again to tell us what she has benefited really, because a lot of people do say that pageants are nothing, and those who participate in beauty pageants are normally loose. That's what they talk about, but we just wanted to find out from her experience. This is what she said.
It has been amazing. How do you lie? It has been very, very amazing because I think I've already said this once before. I think we met some time back and I even talked about it, just gave you a brief. I have gotten the chance, I have gotten the opportunity to interact with different people with high rank. I have gotten the chance to help others, those that I need. I have had the chance to reach out to people that I couldn't reach out when I didn't have this crown. And I feel like it's an ongoing thing because, as you know, the beauty pageant, the Miss Culture pageant brings different themes each year. Like last year, it was collective culture in conquering cancer. So as a brand ambassador for San Diego for the cervical cancer schemes, I think it's something that I will still hold on to. I will still continue with my job. I will still help people. So it's not ending here. And it's something that I have to carry on. Though I'm leaving, though I'm handing over the crown to someone else, I am leaving a legacy behind whereby people are going to be like, there was someone and she did this. And I hope and I believe that I've changed several lives, and I have also been a role model to someone that people are actually looking up to. I would say it's going to be funny, typical rather, but then I used to be one of those people where I would be like, modeling me? Why? You know, at the end of the day, what will my mother think? What will people think? They'll be like, you know what? Maybe she does these prostitute things. You know, that's what people think. When you're a model, maybe you undress everywhere. But no, when I ventured into the modeling industry, I had those mentalities whereby I was like, no, I'll be everywhere. Probably people will just want me everywhere. But though it's different, you know? And sometimes they say, you know, because that's the mentality that Malawians will live with. But come to think of it, if you want to do something bad, you can do it without no one telling you or changing your mind. But if you are of pure heart, if you're doing things out of pure heart, then you cannot bring out that bad image on yourself. As for myself, if I want to keep my dignity, I have to hold on to it. If I want to achieve something in a phase whereby actually the environment is bad, you can actually achieve something from something bad, which has a bad reputation, that is. So I would say that for those that have the mentality that being a model is actually a bad influence, you cannot come out with something bad, with something good out of it, well, you're wrong. I'm a model, and what did I come out with? I am actually studying at Export University, doing my degree in Bachelor's of Business Administration, and I don't think that's a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. So it's all up here. Clear that negativity, because in this life that we're living in, you don't have to live with that negativity. You don't need to have those bad perspectives. Come to the positive side and you'll see that modeling is not only a bad career as you put it, but it's something that exposes you to the world. It's something that gives you opportunities, because I never had the opportunities that I have now. If I was to enlighten you through them, you're going to be like, wow, mind-blowing. So apparently, luckily, there's a pageant that has been running for 3 years now, and then they're back again because Lamborghini wants to sponsor it. So in the past 3 years, no African country was there to present, but luckily this year we have about, I think now 4, including Malawi. We have Zambia, we have South Africa, and we have Ghana representing as well as Malawi. So they approached the CEO, the founder of Miss Culture Malawi, and told her that we want your reigning queen to represent your country in the Miss Uni Beauty pageant, Miss Uni Beauty pageant worldwide, that is.
Yeah, that's Memory Sanjira, Miss Culture Malawi 2022, sharing her experiences in the office, what she has actually done and benefited. And before she hands over the crown, she'll also be traveling. That's what she said. She is about to go to Canada for the Miss Culture Global, and then she also goes for another contest as well to represent Malawi. So she's doing quite well. Now, there is the brains behind the Miss Culture. Why did she start it? Her name is Rolane Kirjajic, and basically this year, 2023, apart from Miss Culture, they are also introducing what they call Mrs. Culture. So we're going to see what will happen, but then they will hold 2 events. That's the Miss Culture as well as the Mrs. Culture. We caught up with Rolane Kilijajic just to share more details on that. Let's hear from Rolane.
Well, you see, I'm mostly outside the country, and I realized that in other countries they are putting Mrs. There's Mrs. Universe now. Mrs. South Africa is big. So I started understanding why is the need for that. And when I come here, there are these ladies, they feel like, hey, these women, these young girls, what about us, they're married? What about us? So I felt like, why don't we introduce the Mrs.? Because Mrs. is a more mature woman who can actually even train and, mentor these young women. So we tried to say, to bring a woman that can be a role model for the younger women, even for other women, to say, okay, you can own land. And one of the prizes is she will get a plot from Innobuild. She'll get a plot, and we need to make our women in Malawi start owning real assets. So that is a role model for the women, and we wanted to bring more, entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, into the country, So that's the basis of why we brought Mrs. Culture Malawi. Thing is, it's all happening on the same night. So 2 crowns, 2 queens on the 4th of August at Capitol Hotel, So the minute we have already shortlisted the finalists, they're already getting prepared. They're getting their outfits made by our local partners, the designers, the Malawian fashion designers are preparing their outfits. So they are ready, and it will happen. They are total in 15, 10 for the Miss and top 5 for the Misses, and they'll walk on the same night. And that night we'll see 2 queens, 4 princesses coming out. So this year we are now more into renewable, reliable, sustainable energy for all. As you have noticed, our countries, especially in Malawi, in South Africa, they are all going through under load shedding issues. So we're looking at what alternative energy can we have, and also clean energy. So we felt like let's bring in, as we advocate, Miss Culture Global and Miss Culture Malawi advocates for sustainable development goals. So we picked themes from those. So this year for the sustainable development goals is the renewable energy one, and we're feeling like, okay, how do we allow or make these ladies to advocate for now this year renewable energy? So we have gotten 265 Energy on board to help us to understand what is renewable energy and what are they doing, and what can the ladies do to advocate for some of these renewable energies that we need in Malawi, alternative energies. So overall, for us, it's the empowerment, to uplift these young women, and to stop the discrimination, among different tribes. But we have to come in as one. People have to look at what is the Malawian culture, not what is this culture. So even our ladies, when they come from different tribes, but they need to come. When she wins, she needs to know how to say hello in Tumbuka. Yeah? She needs to know how to say mulibwanji in Chichewa. She needs to know how to cook, certain Malawian foods, because she goes out of the country to represent Malawi as a Malawian. So when we do, international competitions where she has to show a Malawian dish, something that can be embraced by every Malawian, regardless of their tribe. She has to, say this is the language we say in the northern, this is how we say hello. When you come to visit Malawi, this is how you say hello in the Longwe Belt. This is how we cook our, cassava and you eat cassava sima yakondole kuti kumkota. These are the things that she needs to embody, and that's what we're trying to teach everybody, to teach any of our contestants to embrace all the cultures of Malawi.
Yeah, that's Lorraine Krijajic, the founder of Miss Culture, sharing more about the Miss Culture as well as Mrs. Culture 2023. Now moving on, Black Missionaries alongside Anthony Mr. Ku Makondesa last Friday performed at Club 24/7 in Blantyre, where they entertained people, and during the event they also celebrated the 42nd birthday of Anthony Mr. Ku Makondesa. We had time to speak to Angie Rufumlani, who is the leader of Black Missionary. Let's see what happened. We have the highlights.
Mr. Ku wechedwa kuti alipompano. So I give you this song, everybody.
kwambiri then show yabwinonso anapanga support Mwanayu zonse mu Blantyre sinayembeza kuti tikhala ndi anthu ochuluka chonchi komano tikuwuza kuposa kuti titatenga nyengo tisanabwera mu Blantyre pa Club 24/7 tawabwera moni ndithu tinali ndi show yopambana anatipempha abale a Red Cross kuti tikhale ndi show yayikulu Lilongwe tenzera abale amene avutika nthawi ino osati Blantyre yokha mati ngoti moyo wonse kuno.
To some AOBs now, Ngotakota Music Festival is back after 2 years and it will take place this weekend. There will be no Lake of Stars this year in 2023. They are saying due to other circumstances, they are not holding the Lake of Stars 2023. Actually, it's been some time. The last time we had Lake of Stars was in 2019, but they are targeting 2024. And lastly, celebrated poet Q Malawi is ahead of the launch of his album Son of a Preacher's Son at BICC in Lilongwe on May. That's in May actually. Let's just say in May, because it's May 5th, if not 6th. He has received support from Standard Bank. They've pumped in 15 million towards the launch. On that note, we've come to the very end of Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. I hope you enjoyed what I brought to you in this edition of Infotainment. My name is Banda Jnr. Keep it times as well as Infotainment. But I'll leave you with an interview we had with Solomonic Peacock's director, MacArthur Matukuta, after they had a workshop with fellow artists. I'm out of here. Ciao.
What do you think you are? You ain't nobody.
Enough! You don't have the guts to shout at me like that.
Really?
If there are issues, let's sort them in a peaceful
If
way.
you
What
want
to
to
do?
discuss about, you have this.
All right! Okay!